Hello, what's up you guys? I couldn't see you there over the size of my giant boxes. Anyways, so this is the BananaHobby F-5 Turbine jet, and I would like to go ahead and unbox it. Should be an exciting episode, should be an exciting build, so let's dig in. Okay, so we have what looks like vertical stab, very well packaged, nice and clean. There's a light in there which is nice and scale. The light shows up on both sides, you can see that. Nice metal clevis. Servos installed, let's see. Yep, this feels like a very smooth servo. So mounting blocks right here, and your spar, and there your light LEDs and servo connections. I'm gonna set this aside. Okay, so in here we've got a horizontal stab. Looks good. Bring this closer. The wing. So, horizontal stab looks pretty standard. Nice dense foam, I will say. Now we have the wing. Look at that. The gear's already installed. Not sure. Looks like might be inflatable gear. So there's a little valve there, but we'll find out. Maybe not. Says JP. Nice dense foam construction here. Yeah, it's good. You've got your connector, your wing connector, so should be a plug and play situation. Let's see, we have suspension retracts with the brakes obviously right there. Any LEDs on this one? I don't see any at the moment. But yeah, let's set that one down too. Okay, next we have the Canopy. This looks standard, pretty clean. I have had not very good luck with these. I've always had to take off the plastic and re-glue it, but we'll see how this one turns out. Nose section. So, get that sucker out of there. Okay. So here's the F5's nose section. Decals already applied, as you can see. Let's see. Now in here you've got some electronics. I'm gonna say this looks like some sort of gear, landing gear controller. I'll find out more. But the leads are labeled. So this one, for example, says rudder on it, which is nice. This one says gear on it, which is also nice. There we go. The gear's installed, and that gear has a nose light attached to it. So that's nice. We're gonna set this one aside. Your servo, your steering servo is in there as well. So that's all good. I'm gonna close this. That gear door is also servo driven. And we're gonna set this aside. And that box is empty. I'm assuming this is the main wing spar. These are your missiles. They've got hardwood mounting points, so that's nice plywood rather. Plastic tips, so that's also good. We've got a hardware package with bearings and whatnot. You can see those in there. Your screws, nuts, bearings, lock devices and your simulated pitot tube, which is all plastic. So that's all included in the hardware package. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, the pièce de résistance of this whole thing. Look at that. So let's turn around this way. So there is the fuselage section. You've got your lights on the side of the fuselage. So there's one right here. Obviously another on the opposite side. You've got your connector, your wing connectors right there. That's what it looks like on the bottom. You've got your simulated tailhook. Doesn't move, looks like it's glued in place. Your servos for your elevator servos. Some decals on the bottom. This finish in this is not as great as other jets. Like you can see there's like some blemishes in here on the white, and the vent is just pokes out and kind of has damaged the foam. A little bit of a decal application boo-boo right there. The lights, let's see. The lights look like, you can zoom in on that. So it doesn't look like a very clean installation. There's like glue everywhere. I might have to take those out and remount them. This is on both sides too. Yeah, and you can see that, you know, some of the paint got removed and whatnot. Let's look in here. There's your hatch, and again, noticing like it looks like the foam was compressed or somewhat damaged there. Let's see if we can pull this off. Yes, we can. So your hatch is all aluminum foiled, so that's great. I'm gonna set that down here for a little bit. Let's look in here. So there's your looks like 4mm lining for your turbine. The pipe is installed. Let's zoom out here a little bit. Pipe is installed. Half a bypass, I guess, on the bottom. That's what it looks like from the front. You have some electronics, which I'll probably do a much in-depth review when I get to building this thing. So you have this U-back unit here. Looks like a dual back. 7 to 26 volts in, and 8.4, 7.26, and 5 volt output. You can selectable. So that's kind of neat. UAT is placed in there. Tank is placed in there. Plumbing. I will probably undo all of these just to double check that everything has been done correctly or to my liking. This is what it looks like from the booty. Not bad. Just looks like a F-5. Okay. So here's what comes in the BananaHobby F-5. You got your nose section. You got your canopy. You got your hardware package. And if you ordered it, the Asan AG63, you've got your carbon spar for the wing. You've got your left wing, right elevator, left elevator, and then you've got your missiles, obviously. It's those two guys. And finally, you've got your vertical stab. So that's all of it. Once again, the F-5. Now let's just take a close look at what all these parts are. You got your canopy. You got your wing, left wing, right wing right there. You've got your missile rail and missile attached with the hard point. And then as we go back, you've got your elevator. You've got your vertical stab, attaches with 2 screws. As we go to the back end here, you can see the bifurcated pipe. That's right there. Feels like a 3D printed or plastic end. Let's see how well that holds up. And then you've got your rudder right there. We have lights on the rudder. There's your servo, or your vertical stab rather. Your second horizontal stab or elevator or stabilator. Then you've got your wing again with the rails mounted on there. Aileron flap. You've got your lights. In the nose section. And then you have your spar and the hardware package, which includes some other stuff in there. Let's open up. And that is the pipe. Bifurcated pipe. Looks like it'll fit maybe an 85. I don't see how you can fit like a 100 or a 120, but I could be wrong. It just looks really small. The diameter of the pipe at this point is about 64 or 66 millimeters. So not very many turbines that are small or big will have the ability to fit in there. Okay, you've got your tank mounted for you in there. There's room for something else on top. How big is the tank? I will find out when I build it. Then you have your UAT, your back, and then onto the nose section you have your nose gear, and you can see the nose light right there. Rest of the plane. So that is the look on the BananaHobby F-5. So first impressions. I think this looks okay, and the reason I say that is there are a few things. So first of all, the hatch here is a little bit bruised. The lights on the jet, they seem like it's just not as clean as I'd have expected. Looking at previous like stuff that I've ordered from BananaHobby, specifically the Aerofoam line. Third, I'm looking at this and I was expecting to see gear doors or something. You know, the F5, maybe there was a version without gear doors, I don't know. But for $1,700, almost $1,800 that you pay for this, I would expect to see gear doors. And I say this because the T45, the Aerofoam T45 was cheaper than that. Or about the same cost, and that has gear doors everywhere. It's got lights everywhere. It's got more servos. So this, I don't know. It feels to me just okay. Like, not super impressed, but I think for the price point, I was expecting a little bit more. We'll see as I build it and assemble it, and we'll see what else shows up. But you know, stuff like the decals being put the wrong way or like just scrunched together, and it feels, you know, less polished. There's like glue joints sticking out, there's glue everywhere, or I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can show it. Like, they touched up the paint here a little bit. It's a different paint from the rest of it, or like right there, it's a different paint from that, and it feels very, in some parts, unpolished. You can see what I'm talking about here. Maybe these are little things, like it's just the, you know, the glue is just like completely overspread. Or if you look at the lighting here, you can see it's just like the lens is completely covered in glue, and it doesn't look polished. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, that guy just sticking out there, the foam is kind of dented. But anyway, I mean, these are little things I would probably be able to fix, but the biggest one for me is that there's no gear doors, man. Like, that would have been nice to have. I have to